Hey, welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Universal Baseball Association. Remember to join Field Day Facebook group. We are playing a 2022 game between the Mets and the Atlanta Braves. We're playing at Citi Field. And on the mound is Trevor May for the Mets here in the top of the seventh. He's going to be facing Acuna Jr., Olson, and Riley. The game is tied at 4 apiece. The Braves with 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The Mets with 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The Mets came up with 2 in the bottom of the 6th after the Braves came up with 3 in the top of the 6th. So let's get on with this. And here's the pitch from Trevor May. That is a 25, and that's a potential hit by pitch all the way up to 46, and we roll the 64, so it's ripped and caught by the third baseman. So it's an L5. And Acuna hits a scorcher down the line, and J.D. Davis, who's not known for his defense, is at the right place at the right time. Here is Matt Olson. After about 2 months, we're about 2 months into this replay, one of the many replays that I have. Check out my channel. Remember to join Universal Baseball Association Facebook group as well. The VIP lounge is waiting for you. Let's see. Oh, there he is. 25 hits and 92 at bats, batting .272 with 4 home runs. Here's the pitch to Matt Olson, and that's a snake eyes. That's going to be a drive over the center fielder's head, Nimmo, and he plays it off the base of the wall and into second base with a double will be Matt Olson. All right. And his speed is a Y speed, so that's about average speed. So Olson's on second base now with the go-ahead run, and up comes Austin Riley. Austin Riley in the replay has got 28 hits and 92 at-bats, batting .304 with 8 home runs. Hit 38 home runs in 2022. Here's the pitch, and that's a 55. That's going to be trouble way back. And that ball is gone. 2-run shot by Austin Riley. Holy smokes. He drove that one deep into the second deck here at Citi Field. No doubter. And Trevor May, not happy with himself, gives up the lead. 6-4 Braves now here in the top of the 7th. Next up is Marcell Ozuna, who's batting .211 with 5 home runs, and the pitch, and that's going to be a 45, and a 45 will be a ground ball to Lindor, and that'll be 1 down. All right, it's Ozzie Albies, the switch hitter, batting from the left side against May, and the pitch from Trevor May, a 61, struck him out. Blows a fastball by Albies. The high heat. And here is, that's the third out, by the way. I was not aware. I thought for some reason there were 2 outs. Okay, third out, and it's James McCann leads off here against Max Fried, who still has a little bit left in the tank, and we're going to try to play him through that. We are in the bottom of the 7th, and it's a 41. That'll be ball 4. So Fried with a 1. He's a 3, and that's a 1 base on balls, but it's 1-6. So he will walk. So McCann, a base on balls, and we'll keep him there because no reason to pinch run here. We're down by 2. Here's Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo today's 1 for 3. On the season, he's batting .261 with 1 home run. Here's the pitch, and that's a 62, which will be a strikeout. Curveball gets Nimmo. And that's going to be it for Fried. Mark Canha's coming up, and we're going to go to the bullpen. We're going to grab a right-hander. Yes, we are. Going to grab a right-hander. Who's it going to be? It's got to be a setup guy. Jesse Chavez. Oh, no, he's tired. Let's go to Tucker Davidson. He's a spot starter. Going to skip him. Let's go to the next menu. Closer, setup guy. He's a lefty. Colin McHugh, setup righty. We're going to go with Colin McHugh. See if we could track him down. So this game plays pretty darn fast. Yes, sirree. Yes, it does. Pretty darn fast. If you're starting out, I'm ignoring all the advanced stuff. There's a lot of advanced elements that if you want to play an advanced game, it'll slow you down a little bit. You got to track other things. I would just play straight up, just rolling the dice. It's going to give you a very, very, very realistic simulation by doing that. You don't have to add all the nuance, the tiny details, unless you want to, of course. Some people don't need that. Other people strive for that, and that's fine. Everybody plays their own game, right? Colin McHugh, found him. Here he is. Get a lot of cards. Get all the cards, actually. And the tall cards, the tall picture cards come with the 2022 set. Not all the sets come with those. I think they all do, but you don't need them. Because in this case, already no pitcher is batting anymore. So they didn't make any pitcher batting cards. All right, let's see. So let's roll for Colin McHugh, and he's going to be a 4. So that's going to be a 3-2-1-5. And it's going to be Mark Canha leading off with a runner at first and the pitch. And that's a 65, which will be a 4. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and he goes down on strikes. That's 2 away now for the Metsies. And up comes Francisco Lindor. Lindor, how's he doing? Batting .210. Got off to a slow start with 1 home run and 100 at-bats. Here's a pitch, and that's a 51. A potential error on the third baseman, Riley. And a 26. I don't know that 26 will be an error. It could be an error. And it is. No, it is not. His error number is a 22. So that'll be a ball that he handles. Goes to Albies at second for the force, and that retires the side. All right, so G5-4, and let's see. We're gonna pull another pitcher for the Mets here. So let's call on somebody from the bullpen. Let's see who we're gonna call on. Pretty close game here, so let's go to somebody that I trust. Let's go now. Drew Smith is tired. We got a couple other guys who can trust. Lugo. We're going to go to Lugo here. I do write some notes on these when I do play advanced. I do write some notes on the cards just to remind me what rolls are what. These are just PDFs, so it doesn't really make a difference. All right, so there's Lugo. And it's going to be Travis d'Arnaud. We're going to roll for Lugo, see what kind of stuff he has. He has his 2 stuff, which is 2-2-4-4. Not bad. So Seth Lugo. On the season, how's he doing? I'm glad you asked. Seth Lugo has an ERA of 3.60. 6 games, 5 innings pitched. He's allowed he's collected 5 strikeouts and allowed 1 walk. All right, so let's go. Let's do it. Travis d'Arnaud against Seth Lugo, and that's 16, which will be a strikeout. So Lugo strikes out d'Arnaud, and that's 1 out. We're at the top of the 8th. Not much going on here right now. It's 6-4 Braves, and it's Adam Duvall with a 55, and that's going to be a drive. And a 2 is going to be a fly ball to left center field. On the run is Canha, and Canha comes up with it. F7. So Duvall gives it a jolt into the gap, but Mark Canha chases it down. Mark Canha came over to the Mets from the Athletics. All right, here's a guy named Demerite. I think that's how you pronounce it. Travis Demerite, or Demerit. 44, and that'll be a 4 to 6 base on balls, and it is not. It's a ground ball to the first baseman, Alonso. He takes it himself, and that retires the side. Let's see. How do you pronounce that boy's name? Let me see. Travis. I should be on here. Dumarit. Or, yeah, Dumerit. Let's get Dumerit. Dumerit. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. Here we are in the bottom of the eighth. It's Pete Alonso leading off against Colin McHugh. And a 24 will be a check swing, and they look at the first base umpire, and he rings him up. And Pete's not happy about that. The polar bear goes down on strikes, and next up is Eduardo Escobar. And that's going to be it. You know, this is modern baseball, guys. So that's going to be it. And we're going to the bullpen. We're going to call on a setup guy. And we're going to call who's batting after Escobar. It's going to be a righty, but we can always bring in a lefty. So let's go to AJ Minter. Let's call on AJ Minter. All right, I think on my last game I wasn't showing the cards very well. I had them kind of down off the camera, but I kind of moved the camera a little bit. All right, so AJ Minter, we're going to roll for him, see what kind of stuff he has. He has his 2 stuff. He strikes people out on, he's beyond 6, so 7 and 8 are going to be, hold on, what is that? I have a couple of guys that do that. Oh, it's, let me see. You know who has that? Diaz. Diaz has a couple of strikeouts beyond the 6, right? Let's see if I could track him down, see where he is floating around. And then I'll quickly know what it is. There's a bunch of numbers there if you care to use that. I'm using them a little bit. Sometimes I forget. I don't worry too much about it. Let's see if we can find Edwin Diaz. Yep, 14, 15, 14 and 15. All right. So he's an 8, so a 6, 7, and 8. So it's 14 and 15, I believe, is a K. All right. And the pitch, and that is a 26, which will be a ground ball and base hit for Escobar. So that brings the tying run to the plate in J.D. Davis. J.D. Davis so far is batting 194 with 1 home run. Here's a pitch, and that's a 32, and a 32 will be a base hit. And Escobar will hold up at second base, yes. So the Mets have something going here with 2 men on and only 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And up comes Starling Marte. And the pitch from Minter, a 61, and a 61 is a strikeout. So gets him with the slider. That's 2 away, and here's another lefty. Well, not another lefty, but a lefty that probably Minter wanted to face. Jeff McNeil should have let the previous pitcher go 1 more batter. 63, and that's going to be a swing and a miss. Struck him out, and that ends the inning. The Mets leave a couple men on, and they fail to score. We go to the top of the 9th. Lugo's still in there. He's facing Dansby Swanson, and a 62 will be a strikeout. 1 away. Next is Ronald Acuna, the pitch, and a 53 is going to be a ground ball past the diving Lindor. No way Lindor's an A. If he's an A, he catches this. I do not think he's an A, but let's double check just in case. He's a C. He's a C range. So Acuna's on base, and he's going to get the steal. There he goes, the throw down, and he is safe. Who's the catcher? McCann. Let's check his error number, and it's a 12. He does. It's a good throw, but not good enough. So it's a stolen base for Acuna. An insurance run that I know the Braves would like to have. Next up is Matt Olson. And he's a lefty against Lugo. And we're going to go to the bullpen. Yes, we are. One more time. Go to the bullpen one more time, my friends. Who are we going to call on? We need a lefty now. Hopefully we have a lefty. I believe we do. Yeah. We have Chasen Shreve. Chasen Shreve was the guy that the Mets used a lot in 2022. Here he is. And we're going to roll for him. His stuff is a 5 stuff, which is a 3.39. Oh, man, he gives up a lot of home runs. But it has to be a guy with a 66, or rather with a home run at 66. Not just to anybody. Okay, so be careful because I made that mistake before. Won't make it again. All right, Olson, Matt Olson. And here's the pitch from Chasen Shreve. And a 65 will be a fly ball center field. And Acuna is going to tag up. Let's see what happens. And he will, what is that? What is that 3? Off the top of my head, I don't remember. But it's pretty easy to find. So it's a fly ball center field. Fly ball center field. A 3 is a risk. And a risk. I have no idea what a risk is. Oh, run on risk, I think it is. Run on risk. Let's see. Run an arm chart. Okay, yeah, I found that he advances because it is a 65 result. So he does advance on the 65 result. And so that's going to put, so it's going to be a fly ball, center field, runner on second, safe. So Acuna tags up, goes to third easily, and that's going to bring up Austin Riley. Austin Riley, a right-hander. And here's the pitch, and that is a 66, and that's a deep drive to left field. That's going to be his second blast in the last 3 innings, and that's a 2-run shot. And Austin Riley is having a great day, that's for sure. And the ball comes back onto the field. Oh, no. The ball is thrown back onto the field, picked up by Canha, flipped in to the infield. And around the bases goes Riley. Ozuna greets him at the plate, high-fives him, and the Braves have broken this game open here in the top of the 9th, 8-4. Marcell Ozuna next against Chasen Shreve. And that's going to be a 52, which is a base hit to left field. Will Canha screw it up and mishandle it? Let's see with a bad throw. Let's see. Left field, he does not do that, so he gets it back into Lindor. Does not try to be the hero, and that's a single for Ozuna with 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Albies, the pitch, a 41, and that's ball 4. And that's going to be it. That is going to be it for Shreve. You know what? We're going to let Shreve out there. Travis d'Arnaud, the pitch, 62, struck him out, and that retires the side. So the Mets here in the Bottom of the ninth, they trail by 4 runs, 8-14-1 for the Braves and 4-9-0 for the Metsies. And we're going to go to the bullpen. We're not going to bring in the closer. We're going to bring in somebody else simply because it's a 4-run lead. So we're going to call on, let's see, who are we going to call on? Let's see, Darren O'Day. We'll call on Darren O'Day here. Who's going to come up? McCann. May see a pinch hitter, a lefty, a righty. Yeah, we're going to call on Darren O'Day to come in. Let's see if we can find Darren O'Day quickly. Nope, that didn't work. There he is. Got him fast this time. Let's roll to see what kind of stuff he has. He has his 3 stuff, a 3, 3, 4, and a 5. And James McCann, we're going to pinch hit for McCann. Going to call on probably, who are we going to call on? Luis Guillorme. Or should we call on Dominic Smith? Let's do that. Let's get Dominic Smith in here. He plays with the Yankees now. And here's the pitch by O'Day. It's a 14, and that'll be a strikeout. So he checks his swing, but he's called out by the third base coach for out number 1. And it's top of the order for the Mets now. Brandon Nimmo. Pitch from O'Day. Winds and deals a 14, and he's nothing special here. So 14 is going to be a hard hit ball down the line, and Olsen comes up with it. Flips it to O'Day, who's covering. So 3-1 put out for the second out of the game. And I can see that the crowd is moving towards the exits here. 4 runs down with 2 outs and nobody on, and it's Mark Canha. Let's see who we're going to call on. Let's get a lefty in there. Come on now. Actually, we're going to let Canha bat. Here's the pitch, and that is a 22, and struck him out, and that's the ball game. So the Braves pull it out after the Mets come back. And that's it, folks. 8-4, the Braves win it. Let's go over a little bit of the pitching stats, if you will. Let's see what those look like. I think this is a 3 or 4 game set. I'm not even sure. Let's see. All right, so Max Fried gets the victory. He's 2-0. Went 6 1/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts. Trevor May takes the loss. He's 0-2. Pitched an inning, gave up a couple of runs on that 2-run blast by Riley. No walks and a strikeout. And that's about it. Offensively for the Mets, it was Pete Alonso with 3 hits, has his batting average to over 300. Hit his 12th home run of the season. And that's it, guys. This is Field Day Baseball. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm Tony Porter. Remember to comment. Let me know. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Take care.